Hello students, today in theory part, that is electrostatics part 4, we are going to learn the continuous distribution of charge. Continuous distribution of charge may be one dimensional, two dimensional and three dimensional. Accordingly, we can say the distribution of charge is linear charge distribution, surface charge distribution and volume charge distribution respectively. So what is linear charge distribution? First of all, everybody should know it. When a charge is distributed along a line, you can see this is a line of length L and charge Q is distributed uniformly over it, then the distribution is called linear. Okay, when a charge is distributed along a line, the line may be straight or curved. The distribution is called linear. This figure shows the uniform distribution of charge Q over the length L of a straight rod. Then linear charge density is defined as lambda equal to Q by L, that is charge per unit length. Its SI unit is coulomb per meter. Suppose if a charge Q is uniformly distributed over a ring of radius r, then linear charge density is lambda equal to Q by 2 pi r. Second one is surface charge distribution. When a charge is distributed over a surface may be plane or curved. The charge distribution is called surface charge distribution, which is represented by symbol sigma. Okay, and it is defined as Q by A charge per unit area. Now look at here. This is a plane surface of area A having charge Q uniformly distributed over it, then sigma equal to Q by A. Now what will happen if charge Q is uniformly distributed over the surface of a spherical conductor of radius r? Then surface charge density will be sigma equal to Q by A, and in this case A is 4 pi r square. So sigma equal to Q by 4 pi r square. Its SI unit is coulomb per meter square. Now third is volume charge distribution. When a charge is distributed over the volume of an object, it is called volume charge distribution, and its symbol is rho, and rho is written as Q by V, that is charge per unit volume. Now what will happen to rho if charge is uniformly distributed over entire volume of a sphere? Then its volume charge density is rho equal to Q by V, and V in this case is 4 by 3 pi r cube, because we have considered the sphere and the volume of a sphere is 4 by 3 pi r cube. So this was the continuous distribution of charge in three different cases we have seen just now. Linear charge distribution, lambda equal to Q by L. Surface charge distribution, sigma equal to Q by A. And volume charge distribution, rho equal to Q by V. Now come to this point. Force due to a continuous distribution of charge. Force due to a continuous distribution of charge. Now look at the figure. First of all, you see the figure. In this figure, I have taken a line of length, line charge of length L, and its position vector is R. I have mentioned here position vector is R, and a point charge Q naught where we have to find the force. due to line charge. Okay, its position vector is r naught. Now we first of all we consider a small element of line charge having length L and charge dq. Okay, so we can write, if lambda is the linear charge density, then we can write lambda equal to charge per unit length of the element, that is dq by dl. So dq equal to lambda dl. Now force on a point charge q naught due to a small charge element dq equal to lambda dl on the length element is given by a small force, that is this will exert a force. Look at here, this will exert a force on q naught. Then a small force is given by 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught dq into q naught by r naught minus r modulus whole q into r naught minus r. This is force in terms of position vector. Okay. Now putting the value of dq, we get the force in this form, 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q naught lambda dl by modulus r naught minus r whole q into r naught minus r. So this is the force, a small force exerted by a small charge element on point charge q naught. Now what will be the total force on q naught due to the line charge of length L? So simply we have to integrate the small force df over the entire length. Okay, 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q naught lambda dl by r naught minus r modulus whole q r naught minus r. So this is the total force exerted on q naught due to a line charge. So in case 2, when charge is distributed continuously over a surface. Now look at the figure. This is a surface, okay, S, and a small surface element ds I have considered here, and the position vector is r, and the point charge q naught, its position vector is r naught. Okay, so in the same way we can write dq, that is sigma ds, dq equal to sigma ds, and now the small force due to ds on q naught is given by df equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught sigma ds q naught by modulus r naught minus r whole q into r naught minus r. Now we want to find the force at force on q naught due to whole surface. Then we will integrate the small force. So integrating f equal to integrating over the entire surface 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught sigma ds q naught by modulus r naught minus r whole q into r naught minus r. So we get the total force on q naught due to surface charge distribution. Okay. Number 3, when charge is distributed continuously over a volume. Now you look at the figure very carefully. This is total volume V and charge is distributed over the volume. Let us suppose that a small volume element dV having charge dq, then we can write dq equal to rho dV, and small force due to this charge on point charge q naught is given by, I have written, you go through it, df equal to, now you write in this way, and the total force is given by, okay. So this was all about the continuous distribution of charge in theory part of electrostats 4. I have discussed continuous charge distribution in details. Now you revise and try to write on your own so that each and every step will be clear to you. So enjoy with physics. Thank you.